Good morning, everyone. My name is Priyanka. Welcome to today's decoding session of the Hindu. Our today's discussion topic would be on the strategic partnership signed by two countries. One is our country, India, and the another country is Egypt. We all know that Mr. PM has finally arrived from Egypt after his 2 days visit, in which both the countries signed strategic partnerships. So, before understanding what is this strategic partnership, how is it different from our previous relation of bilateral ties between both the countries, I would like to request all of you to please like, share my video, and hit the subscribe button so that I could provide all the news updates on time. So, let us begin with our today's journey. This is the editorial which is from the Hindu, 27th of June 2023. And we know that it talked about the strategic partnership signed by both the countries. But before understanding what is a strategic partnership, I would like to draw your attention that before this strategic partnership, India and Egypt had the relation of bilateral ties with each other. What is bilateral ties and what is strategic partnership? See, in the bilateral ties, two countries recognize each other as the sovereign state. That means India recognized the Egypt as a sovereign state, Egypt recognized India as a sovereign state, right? They respect each other's sovereignty. Plus, they exchange their diplomatic agents, ambassadors, and they talk on the bilateral issues, the topics on which both the countries can cooperate with each other. Correct? So after bilateral ties, this is the time when India and Egypt has signed the strategic partnership. Now, the strategic partnership is something which is of the self-interest, which is of the more of the mutual interest. So basically, here what happens? The two economies sign this partnership thing when both have certain beneficial asset, both have something to offer each other in terms of the beneficial asset, and they get helped by each other to revive the economy, to explore in the marketplaces, and many such advantages. So they have a common strategic importance. So it shows a more friendly relations between the two countries. Correct. So this is the meaning or the difference between the strategic partnership of today, what was signed, and the previous relation, that is the bilateral ties. I hope the difference is clear, is absolutely clear. Now it would be easy for us to understand the events which actually happened in this the meeting of Mr. PM in the Egypt. First of all, देखिए ये किसी से नहीं छुपा है that the importance which India is gaining on international platform is immense. And this visit is the example which proves that yes, Mr. PM has done a lot to increase the importance of India on the international platform on the global scenario. And this is the current situation when we can see that India is on high demand with respect to the global geopolitics. How we can see that with this when Mr. PM arrived on the in the Egypt, it was seen that the president. I'm feeling very happy to share this thing that the president of Egypt himself came to receive the PM Modi on the airport. This is something which is known as a huge respect. Not only on the papers, not only the virtual respect, it is the real respect with Egypt has shown towards our country, the beloved country, India. And it shows that the Egypt has almost broken all the protocols in this visit. Why? Because whenever a foreign minister comes, what we say that usually the higher secretary or the higher ministers comes to receive, but no. When the president himself has come to receive Mr. PM, it shows a huge respect. And second of that, he was awarded with the Order of the Nile Award. It is the highest civilian award considered in their country. So if we honor with this award, we are honored with this reward, it means a lot. So it is the highest civilian award. Now, let us have a look in brief the pointers which were signed in this meeting. One was your agriculture, preservation of monuments and archaeological sites, and the competition law. And the whole visit or the whole strategic partnership was, on the four major elements. One was the political and the defense security, economic engagement, scientific and academic collaboration, cultural and people to people context. Now, the main thing which is important with respect to the mains perspective in the UPSC exam, right? That is the brainstorming part. How come the importance of Egypt has risen suddenly in India's foreign policy? In the recent time, if we see, we haven't heard the name of Egypt. In the last time, we haven't heard for a long time the name of Egypt in our foreign policy. Neither we see that Egypt supports India at the important international platforms with respect to the Kashmir issues. It was seen in the G20 last time also that Egypt did not support India with respect to the Kashmir issue as well. And it is pretty very obvious because Kashmir is part of Organization of Islamic Cooperation, that is OIC countries. So yes, it has certain we could say the foundations or the limitations. The Egypt cannot support India. But besides all these differences, what is crucial in Egypt that we are still having closer relations with Egypt? So, first of all, we can understand clearly with some historical relations of India and Egypt. But first of all, I would like to draw your attention towards the recent examples which happened, which proves that yes, both the countries are coming together. How? See, recently we see that India has invited the President of India as a chief guest in the India's 75th Republic Day parade, right? And in this, we also have seen that one of the military contingent of India also participated in this parade, and many bilateral talks happened. Many bilateral issues were discussed in this topic. And from here, if I talk, the bilateral trade is very important between any two countries. If trade is increased, it is just helpful, to grow the economy. So bilateral trade जो है वो बहुत ही rapid increase हुआ है. ऐसा माना जाता है कि it was something around 7.2%. I have to check the data exactly, but yes, ये 7.2 या 7.5 इससे बाहर नहीं जाना चाहिए, which is we can say that 75% increase compared to the last financial year. And yes, India was the sixth most important trading partner for Egypt. 2021 और 22 में ये बहुत ही बड़ी बात है, ठीक है? और 2021 की अगर मैं बात करूं तो ये इसको आप बार बार जो टर्म है आप इसको भूलिएगा नहीं. This is the most important thing I would like to draw, that Desert Warrior was the exercise which was signed between India and Egypt. It was the first ever, देखिए, I'm mentioning the term that first ever. This was the first ever exercise, the air tactical exercise, which was signed by the India and the Egypt. Also, a positive gesture was shown that besides many differences, India invited Egypt in its G20 meeting. So now we have seen that yes, the relations are becoming better. But why? So we can now go to the historical relations between India and Egypt to know the reasons behind it. Okay, so we can talk about this in this manner. Let me change the color of the pen. Okay, now we can start. Historical relations. During the time of independence, that means I'm talking something around 1947. This was the time when both the countries established their bilateral relations. Now, I don't think I have to explain what is bilateral relations. In simple, India and Egypt recognize each other as the sovereign state. And very soon it was seen that in the time of 1955, a friendship treaty was signed between both the countries. So when I talk about the friendship treaty, that means they were more closer to each other. They were more protecting each other's interests, right? So this is something we can conclude from the friendship treaty. And the proof of this itself can be seen in 1956 during the Suez Canal crisis. Can everyone please tell me the location of Suez Canal crisis and what was the Suez Canal crisis? देखिए, सुएज कैनाल क्राइसिस जो था 1956 का एक बहुत ही बुरा हादसा और इवेंट हम बोल सकते हैं, जिसके अंदर आपके पास जो इजिप्ट है उस पे अटैक किया गया था इसराइल के द्वारा, और इसी के साथ में इसराइल के साथ में आपके पास ब्रिटेन था। ब्रिटेन के साथ में यू विल हैव अ लुक ऑन द फ्रांस इज वेल। So, as a result of this friendship treaty, India obviously supported the Egypt and condemned this attack on the international platform. And ultimately, as a result, in 1961, both the countries became the founding members of the non-alignment movement. Again, what is non-alignment movement? What is NAM? Obviously, we all should know, like if we know the world history, if we are following current affairs on a daily basis, yes, it is an obvious answer. That is NAM, non-alignment movement. As a result of the Cold War, when the world was divided into uh, two poles. That is, at one side it was the USA, at the other side it was the USSR. So ultimately, the world was divided into two. So here, here Egypt and India were the two countries which ultimately said that we are not taking side of any country, right? So that was something known as the non-alignment movement. But अगर ये anciently या फिर in the historical time initial we see that if the relations were good, then what happened that now last year, last 20 to 30 years, it was seen that no, good relations were seen between both the countries. देखिए, we cannot go in that much detail of that thing, but yes, we could say that there were certain events, right, which led Egypt to take the part of the USA. So Egypt was at the side of the USA, and our country, India, was in the side of USSR. So obviously, USA and USSR are rivalries. They are not friends with each other. So it is obvious that Egypt and India will have to keep a distance from each other as a common sense in the international relations or the international affairs, the geopolitical thing which is happening in the global affairs, right? So this could be one of the reason. And yes, the mutual neglect thing was also responsible for this 20 years of dilation of the relations. But what happened after that? So 2008 was a time कि ये ignorance चलता रहा, इंडिया और इजिप्ट के खास जो रिलेशन थे इतने कुछ इम्पोर्टेंट थे नहीं, लेकिन 2008 में हमारी जो कंट्री है इंडिया, वहां पे मनमोहन सिंह जी जो है उनकी लीडरशिप के चलते हुए फिर से कोशिश करी गई थी कि हमको कुछ डिफेंस के अंदर स्ट्रैटेजिक रिलेशंस बनाने चाहिए, स्ट्रैटेजिक पार्टनरशिप्स करनी चाहिए। एंड आफ्टर 2018, फ्रॉम 2014 ऑनवर्ड, मोदी जी रॉक्स, यानी कि जब से मोदी जी की सरकार आई है, इंडिया और इजिप्ट के रिलेशंस आर वेरी हैप्पी। इन्होंने अभी तक पीछे मुड़ के नहीं देखा है, इट इज कॉन्टिन्यूसली इंक्रीजिंग। लेकिन क्यों? फायदा क्या है? जो फायदा है या फिर जो प्रॉफिट हो सकता है उसको हम ब्रॉडली फोर कैटेगरीज में देख सकते हैं। वन इज योर सुएज कैनाल, द जियो स्ट्रैटेजिक कंसर्न्स, रीजनल स्टेबिलिटी एंड द वेस्ट एशिया पॉलिसी ऑफ इंडिया। तो स्ट्रेटेजिक अलायंस में हम सबसे पहले सुएज कैनाल को डिस्कस करते हैं। देखिए, इसको समझने से पहले आपको जो मैप है क्लियर होना चाहिए. आई एम सॉरी, आई forgot to add the map of Egypt over here, but yes, we can understand it with the help of a rough diagram. ठीक है. आई विश आपको समझ में आए. देखिए, दिस इज द एरिया ऑफ अफ्रीका. ये आपके पास जो कंट्री है ये हो जाएगी आपके पास इजिप्ट. मैप में देखिए प्लीज. और ये जो एरिया है वो है आपके पास मेडिटेरेनियन सी. एंड दिस इज योर एरिया विच टॉक्स अबाउट द रेड सी. जो स्विस किनारे का जो एरिया है वो यहाँ पे आपके पास आता है. देखिए, इसको मैं आपके लिए अलग कलर से पॉइंट करने की कोशिश करती हूँ. और आई होप ये आपको क्रिस्टल तरह से दिख रहा होगा. ठीक है. ये हो जाएगा आपके पास क्या, सुइस कनाल का जो एरिया. ध्यान से देखेंगे, अगर ये आपके पास एशिया जो है वो है, एशिया का एरिया है. तो एशिया को अगर यूरोप के मार्केट में अपना दबदबा जमाना है या फिर अपना मार्केट एक्सप्लोर करना है, तो इसके लिए ये बहुत ही ऑल्टरनेटिव रास्ता हो सकता है. ना कि पाकिस्तान या जो छाबर पोर्ट, अफगानिस्तान, उन सब के झंझट में पड़ते हुए. दिस कुड बी एन ऑल्टरनेट वे. प्लस ये जो हमारे पास इंडो पैसिफिक का इशू इतने टाइम से चल रहा है, जो इस इशू में आपके पास चाइना ने जो हमारी नाक पे दम करके रखा हुआ है, इस इशू को सॉर्ट करने के लिए, नॉट आई वुड से द सॉर्ट करने, नॉट आई वुड प्रेफर द टर्म सॉर्ट. आई वुड से जस्ट फॉर द सिक्योरिटी, बिकॉज द सुइस कैनाल इज इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाई? बिकॉज ये जो सुइस कैनाल है ये एक तरह से आपके पास चोक पॉइंट की तरह काम करता है इन द इंडो पैसिफिक एरिया. अगर ये चीज ब्लॉक हो जाती है तो यहाँ से किसी के पास आने के लिए कोई feasible रास्ता नहीं बनता. फिर उनको यहाँ से आने पड़ेगा, which is टाइम कंज्यूमिंग, which is not feasible economic wise, right? So these are the reasons with respect to the Suez Canal that yes, Egypt is important for us. The most important जो है लिस्ट में आपके पास इसके बाद जो आता है कि ये है आपके पास अरब वर्ल्ड और ये है आपके पास अफ्रीका. और इन दोनों के बाद जो है यहाँ पे एक तरह से लिंक करने का काम यहाँ पे कर रहा है इजिप्ट. ठीक है जी. इजिप्ट के अरब वर्ल्ड के साथ जो भी रिलेशंस हैं वो इम्प्रूव होते जा रहे हैं. राइट? इजिप्ट इज गेनिंग, इज रिकॉर्डिंग पावर इन दिस अरब रीजन. एंड दिस रीजन जो है इसका स्टेबल होना बहुत ही ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है इजिप्ट के लिए भी और इंडिया के लिए भी. बिकॉज दिस इज द एरिया विथ ह्यूज रिसोर्स, विथ ह्यूज मार्केट वी कुड से. राइट? आपके पास मार्केट है यहाँ पे, रिसोर्स है, तेल के कुएं मिल सकते हैं आपको. राइट? एंड इट कुड बी अ गुड कनेक्टिविटी टू द यूरोप वर्ल्ड इज. So the stability of this area is very important. Plus यहाँ पे इंडिया का अच्छा खासा इन्वेस्टमेंट भी हो रखा है. So because of this common objective, between the India and the Egypt, so we can say they have a common aim of the regional stability. So yes, Egypt और इंडिया जो है वो साथ में आ सकते हैं. And not but last but not the least, the West Asia policy. इंडिया की ये जो वेस्ट एशिया पॉलिसी है, इसमें इंडिया क्या करता है, कोशिश करता है कि हम हमारी जो वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज है वहां पे पॉलिटिकल वाइज, economy wise and cultural wise, we try to strengthen our relations with the Western countries. Correct? And at last, I would like to see. इससे ये क्लियर हो गया है कि ये तो हमको पता है कि इवेंट में हुआ क्या था, ये तो सारे न्यूज चैनल कवर कर रहे हैं. एडिटोरियल डिस्कशन वी हैड डन कि मेन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जो ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग वाला पार्ट था, दैट व्हाई इजिप्ट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, व्हाट आर इंडियाज इंटरेस्ट, व्हाट आर इजिप्ट्स इंटरेस्ट. सी, इजिप्ट के इंटरेस्ट की अगर हम बात करें तो कोविड के टाइम में उनको बहुत बड़ा लॉस हुआ था. तो यस, इंडिया वाज अ ग्रेट हेल्पिंग हैंड टू द इजिप्ट. राइट? एंड आगे भी हम जो है इंडिया ऐसी हेल्प करता रहेगा. तो एज लास्ट वी कैन कंक्लूड दैट दोनों ही कंट्री, इंडिया और इजिप्ट, बायलेटरल रिलेशन से आपके पास स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप पे आता है. और बहुत ही जल्द, आई थिंक, as per my observation, they will soon enter into a outsourcing relationship, which is a win-win situation between both the countries. I hope you like the video. Please like, share, and subscribe my YouTube channel so that I can provide you my daily news updates on time, which would be beneficial to all of you. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. God bless.